Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Good morning. I have to apologize. It was really my fault, not Jacov. Can you hear me all? Yes. Since you've been praying the entire morning. And we pray together with you, Jacov. And I'm going to share with you now the most important thing about the apparitions of Our Lady. And what is the most important, more important than anything. And those are the messages of Our Lady. Our Lady has been appearing more than 27 years. Many people who come here to Medjugorje, they are always surprised and they ask why for 27 years. Why Our Lady has been giving so many messages. And we always ask ourselves why. But instead of asking why, we should say something else. But we have to give thanks to God. We have to give Him thanks for the grace and the gift He gave to us. We have to give Him thanks because He permits Our Lady to spend time with us. And so often we forget how much graces we have. And the graces are right before us. And I'm also sure if each of us opens our hearts towards God, towards Our Lady, each one of us will be able to understand why Our Lady has been coming. All of us will be able to understand with our hearts that Our Lady is our mother, that she loves us all, and that she wants to bring us all to peace and to joy. And that peace and joy we can find only in Jesus Christ. That's why Our Lady gives us her messages. And the messages of Our Lady are nothing else but the way how to get to Jesus. And that's the way of prayer, conversion, of peace, and that's the way of fasting and Holy Mass. So many people who hear the messages of Our Lady for the first time, who never lived these messages before, they are going to say that there are so many messages. And how to start living these messages they are going to ask. So it was the same way for me at the beginning. You see, I have never prayed all 15 decades of the Rosary before. I had never fasted twice a week. And I hadn't known what the word conversion means. And I also asked myself how to live these messages. In one of her messages, Our Lady said, "Dear children, it is enough that you open your hearts, and I do the rest." And I think that this message is very important for each one of us. And especially for all of you who come here as pilgrims to Medjugorje. And how to start this pilgrimage. It is important that we have pure, clean hearts. And that's why I recommend to each one of you, the first thing you do here is the Holy Confession. And if we have pure, clean hearts, then we'll be able to say our yes to Our Lady. But also each living of the messages of Our Lady, we have to ask this from God. This is the gift. Each message of Our Lady, we have to accept and live with our hearts. So every prayer we say, and Our Lady has said so many times, pray with the heart. And you see, to pray with the heart is a gift from God. And this is the gift which God desires to give to all of us. And in order to accept this, we have to ask this on a daily basis. Because prayer must become a joy for us. We cannot pray if we feel that we must pray. Our hearts must feel need for prayer. The prayer must become our food. And at the same moment, the prayer is something else. And the prayer is the answer for all questions we carry in our hearts. And Our Lady repeated so many times, pray and you are going to receive all answers. And Our Lady invites us to pray the Holy Rosary, to renew the prayer of the Holy Rosary. But also she said, every prayer we say with the heart is important. And Our Lady always recommends the prayer in our families, so that we can place God in very first place, so that we find the time in our families for Him. And if God lives in our family, and then we have everything what one family needs. That is peace, that is joy, that is love. And this is what each family should have. So if God does not live with us, we are not a family. We have to be example to our children. We have to pray together with our children. We are responsible before our children. Because each child is a gift from God. The gift which we must live. And we have to take this gift to the right way. Because everything comes, everything is born in the family. So each parent has a great responsibility before child. Our Lady invites us to fast on Wednesdays and Fridays. Bread and water. Jacov is asking, what day is today? Jacov says, you are laughing, probably you all had the breakfast. So when we talk about fasting, many people ask me why we need to fast. And there is this message of Our Lady which she said here in Medjugorje, and which is the answer for this question. Our Lady said, dear children, with prayer and fasting, you can reach every goal. You can even stop wars. And I think that this message tells us all. And you see, we wander and we walk around asking what we have to do. We go to other people. And you see, people come very often to our houses. But when the message is clear to us, when we know clearly what we are to do, but unfortunately there are many of us who remember God only when we need Him, when we ask something from Him. And when we ask this something, and we want to receive that immediately. And I have